kids, how are you all? I hope you all must be fine, right? So today we are going to read for class 6 Science Olympiad. And in class 6 Science Olympiad, which portion we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss the previous year questions of SOF NSO level 1 exam. Okay? So in our previous session, we have already discussed some questions, and in our today's session, we are going to discuss some more questions. Okay? So are you all ready for it? Yes. So let's get started. First question, submultiple micro is equal to, options are A, 1 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 6 zeros are there. And in option B, 1 by, it is after 1, 5 zeros are there. In option C, 1 by after 1, 7 zeros are there. And D, 1 by 1000. Okay. So we have to find out submultiple micro. So first thing, do you know what is micro? Micro is equal to 10 to the power minus 6. That is equal to 1 by 10 to the power 6. Okay. And what is 10 to the power 6? 10 to the power 6 means after 1 we have to write 6 zeros. Got it? So we have to find out in which of the following option 1 by after 1 6 zeros are there. Okay. So here we guess this is the correct answer, right? So correct answer is option A. Coming to the next question, fill in the blanks by choosing an appropriate option. Venus is the brightest planet in the Earth night sky. Venus rotates from 1 to 2 about its axis, and all the other planets rotate from 3 to 4 about their axis. Okay. So options are A, east west, east west, B, east west, west east, C, west east, east west, D, west east, east and west. Okay. So here Venus is the brightest planet in the Earth's night sky, and Venus rotates from. So from which direction to which direction Venus rotates? Okay. So here Venus rotates from east to west, right? About its axis, and all other planets they rotate from, that is in the opposite direction, west to east about their axis. So which one is the correct option? The correct answer is option B. Got it everyone? Coming to the next question, match column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option from the given quotes. Okay. So in column 1, 4 images are there, and in column 2, different types of motions are there. Okay. So the options are A, 1B, 2A, 3D, 4C, B, 1C, 2D, 3A, 4B, C, 1B, 2D, 3A, 4C, D, 1C, 2A, 3D and 4B. Okay. So we have to correlate, we have to match the colors. Got it? The first one, that is about the oscillatory motion. So do you know what is the oscillatory motion? So it is the to and fro motion of a body about a fixed point. So about a fixed position. A fixed position is there about it. If there is to and fro motion, then that will be oscillatory motion. Okay. So next one is the rotatory motion. So when a body rotates about its own axis, then it is known as rotatory motion. Got it? Coming to the next one, that is curvilinear motion. So it is the motion of an object around a curved path. Okay. Then the last one is random motion. As the name suggests, this means in this motion the objects they do not have any specific path. Okay. Now we have to match them. In the first option, that is the car is going in the road. Okay. So here what will be that motion? So as per you, what should be that motion? Yes, it is a curvilinear motion. So here we can write here C. Got it? Next one, curvilinear motion, that is the around a curved path, movement of an object around a curved path. Next one, here the two children they are playing, right? What type of motion is this? This is oscillatory motion. You remember what is oscillatory motion? That is the to and fro motion of the body about a fixed position. So we can write here A. Next one, you can see here they are playing. Okay, so what type of motion will it be? It is a random motion because there is no specific path. So here we can write D. The next one is the movement of the blades of the fan. Okay, so here what happens here, the body rotates about its own axis. So it is the rotatory motion. So we can write here B. So what is the correct option? That is 1C, 2A, 3D, 4B. And when it is present, it is present in option D. Okay, so option D is the correct option. Coming to the next question, in the given circuit, the three lamps are identical. When switch S is closed, then what will happen? The options are A, lamp P becomes dimmer. B, lamp P is as bright as lamp Q. C, lamp Q is not as bright as lamp R. D, lamp P remains as bright as before. Okay, so in the given circuit, three lamps are identical. We can see three lamps are there, P, Q and R. Okay, and when switch S is closed, then what will happen? See here, Q and S, these are present in a single line, right? So Q and R, they are in series connection. But coming to this P and this Q and R, these are in both lines. So P is in parallel connection, okay, with that Q and R. So in the path of P, whatever current will be flow, that will be same in the path of Q and R. So whether this switch S is remains closed or open, it does not matter. Okay, because P, it is connected to the source. That is the battery. It is connected. So lamp P, it remains as bright as before. Okay, but what about the Q and R? So Q and R, they will be less bright compared to P. Half will go to Q and half amount will go to R, right? But Q, it is not going to be affected anyway. So correct answer is option D. That is lamp P remains as bright as before. Okay. Coming to the next question, study the given flowchart carefully. Outer planet, does it have more than 30 moons? Yes. Is it the largest planet of the solar system? Yes. And it is B. Okay. So, it could be Jupiter. Then the next one, Q. So, outer planet, does it have more than 30 moons? Yes. Is it the largest planet of the solar system? No. So, it could be Saturn. Then outer planet, does it have more than 30 moons? No. Is it the 8th planet in order from the sun? Yes. So, it could be Neptune. Then outer planet, does it have more than 30 moons? No. Is it the 8th planet in order from the sun? No. So it could be anything. Okay. Next, which of the following correctly lists the names of the planets? Names of the planet that can be placed at P, Q, R and S in the given flowchart. And options for P, Q, R, S are option A, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune. B, Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, Neptune. C, Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus. D, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. So here we know that P, Q, R, this is Jupiter, Saturn and Neptune. So this S, it could be the Uranus. Okay. So correct answer, that is option D. Coming to the next question, substances X, Y and Z have the following properties. X, elastic, opaque, non-edible. Y, liquid, inflammable, edible. Z, hard, floats on water, inflammable. X, Y and Z are respectively. Options are A, plastic, milk and iron nail. B, sand, honey and soap. C, rubber band, cooking oil and matchstick. D, aluminium foil, shampoo and steel plate. Okay, so we have to find out substance W or X, Y and Z. Okay, Okay, so first thing it is about the X. It is elastic. That is, we can stretch it. Okay, when force is applied, we can stretch it. Then it will be elastic. Opaque. Opaque means light cannot pass through it. Non-edible. We cannot eat that. Okay, so it could be the rubber band. Okay, the next one, it is a liquid, inflammable, that means it catches fire, and then edible, we can eat it. So it could be the cooking oil. Then J, hard, floats on water, inflammable. Hard and it floats on water, inflammable. It can also catches fire. So it could be the matchstick. So which is the correct option? That is option C, right? That is rubber band, cooking oil and matchstick. Got it, everyone? Coming to the next question. The given figure shows the apparatus used to obtain pure water from sugar solution. The processes occurring in apparatus 1 and 2 are respectively. Options are A, boiling and vaporization, B, sublimation and evaporation, C, boiling and condensation, D, melting and condensation. Okay, so what we have a sugar solution, and from that sugar solution we are trying to get the pure water. Okay, so how can we get it? So some processes are going on. We have to identify the processes. So the first one, in the apparatus 1, here you can see these things, which are what? Vapors are forming, right? So sugar solution is there, and from there vapors are forming. So what could be that process? Here the sugar solution means sugar plus water. So that water, it will be converted to water vapor. So we are giving heat, right? So this process is boiling. We are giving it, and after getting that heat, that water is converted to water vapor. So name of the process is boiling. Coming to the second apparatus, here what is happening? These water vapors, you can see these water vapors are coming through this side tube. We can say this as side tube or bent tube. Okay, so it is inserted into this tube, and here ice is there. You can see here ice is there. So what is the requirement? When this water vapor, it will come in contact with the ice which is present here, so they will be cooled. So when water vapor will be cooled, then it will be converted into water. You can see here water droplets are there. Okay, so this water vapor is converted into water. So what is the name of the process? The name of the process, it is condensation. So what is the correct answer? That is boiling and condensation. And where it is present? It is present in option C, right? Coming to the next question. Sorry. Which one of the following diagrams represent an example of an element-element mixture? So four options are there. Okay, and we have to find out which one is the element-element mixture. Okay, so what do you mean by element-element mixture? So here two type of elements are there, and they are not combined with each other. Okay, so if one type of element means element, they contain same kind of atom, right? Element, they contain same type of atom. So it could be option A. Why? Here you can see this type of things. Here same type of atom are there, so we can consider it as the first element. And here you can see some different type of atoms are there, which is single. So we can consider is at the second element. So this is the mixture of element and element. In other options, you can see here one element, here another element. Okay, different type of elements are there. So it cannot be an element, right? That's why option A is the correct answer. Here also different atoms are there. Here also different atoms are there. So they cannot be element. Got it? Coming to the next question, match the column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option from the given course. Column 1, cleaning muddy water. Q, separating sand from gravel. R, separating chaff from the grains. S, separating kerosene from a mixture of kerosene and water. Column 2, winnowing, filtration, separating funnel, sieving. Our options are for PQRS: A, 4213, B, 2431, C, 3214, D, 241 and 3. So we have to match the columns. So the first one, that is cleaning muddy water. So cleaning muddy water, how can we clean the muddy water? Okay, so for that we need to do filtration. So we can write here filtration. So you will take a filter paper, and when you pass the muddy water through that filter paper, the mud, it will remain on the filter paper. Okay, and that mud which will remain on the filter paper, we will call it as residue. Okay, and the clear water, it will pass through the filter paper, and we call it as filtrate. Okay, next, separating sand from gravel. So from separating sand from gravel, there is difference between size. Okay, so the sand, it is having less size from that of gravel, so we can use the process, that is sieving. So sieving is the process where we used to separate the substances which are having different sizes. Okay, so we can write here 4. Then separating chaff from the grains. So when the grains are there, some saps are there. So what we do, we separate it with the help of wind. So if we are separating with the help of wind, the name of the process is winnowing. So we can write here 1. And in which case we can follow this winnowing process. So here, if something is lighter, okay, and the another thing is comparatively heavier, in that process we can use this, we can follow this winnowing process. So you know, grains are little bit heavier and sap, these are lighter. So in presence of wind, we can, if we just try to do this way, so what will happen, these lighter particles, they will blow away. Okay, that will blow away, and the heavier particle, that is the grain, it will remain there. So like this we can separate. Next, separating kerosene from a mixture of kerosene and water. So kerosene and water, these are immiscible substances. Okay, so immiscible liquids. When two immiscible liquids are there, we use the method, that is the use of separating funnel. So we can write here 3. So in the separating funnel, if you if you keep a mixture of different liquids which are immiscible with each other, then what will happen, according to their density, they will form layer. The heavier liquid, that means which is having more density, it will remain in below, and the other one which is having less density, which is lighter, it will remain above. Okay, and there is some switch is there. When you open it, then the heavier liquid which is present at the bottom, it will come out, and when all the first liquid will come out, we can just switch it on, and we will get the second liquid which is remaining in the separating funnel. Got it? So P2 Q4 R1 S3. So where it is present? Yes, it is present in option D. Got it, everyone? So coming to the next question, during summer holidays while doing their science project, a group of class 6 students classified things around them as given in the table. So material, silver coin, grass, a piece of glass, cotton ball hair, and the appearance, that is appearance, transparency, floats or sinks in water, soluble or insoluble in water, everything is present in the table. Okay. So materials classified incorrectly are option A 3 and 4 only, B 1 and 5 only, C 2 and 5 only, D none of these. So we have to find out which of the following materials are classified incorrectly. Got it? Okay, so let's see. Silver coin, coming to the first one, silver coin, it is hard and it is opaque, it sinks, it is insoluble in water. This one correct. Grass, it is soft, then transparent. You know what is transparent? Through which light can pass through. That is transparent. And if light cannot pass through any object, then we call it as opaque. So grass is not transparent. It does not sink. It is not soluble in water. This one is incorrect. Then a piece of glass. It is hard. It is transparent. It sinks in water and it is insoluble in water. Correct. Then cotton ball. It is soft and the transparency, it is opaque. Yes, light cannot pass through it. Then floats initially, then sink, and then the it is insoluble. Yes, this one is correct. And then here is soft, opaque, light cannot pass through it. Floats or sinks in water, sinks, then soluble, insoluble, this one. Okay, so this one is incorrect. So which two are incorrect? That is 2 and 5. So correct answer is option C. Coming to the next question. While explaining the working of a clinical thermometer, Ms. Kushum, a science teacher, explained that when temperature rises, mercury in the thermometer expands, which is the process 1. And when the temperature goes down, the mercury contracts and falls to a lower reading, that is the process 2. Which of the following statements are correct regarding the processes 1 and 2? Option the bit 1, both processes represent chemical change. Bit 2, both processes are reversible. Bit 3, process 1 is a physical change and process 2 is a chemical change. Bit 4, both processes represent the physical change. Okay, and options are A, 2 and 4 only, B, 1 and 2 only, C, 2 and 3 only, D, none of these. So the first process, that is when temperature rises, mercury expands. Right, temperature rises, mercury expands. There is no formation of any new substance during this process. So the process 1, it is a physical change. Okay, and in general physical change, these are reversible in nature, right? Yes. Then the second one, that is the when temperature goes down, the mercury contracts and falls to lower reading. Okay, so here also there is no formation of new substance, so this is also a physical change. And also when we reverse the temperature, then it will again expand. Okay, so this one is also reversible. So both the process are physical change and reversible in nature. Okay, so we have to find out which of the following is the correct option. So what will be the correct option? That is both processes are, just a minute. Yes, both processes represent chemical change. No, both processes reversible. Correct. Process 1 is physical change and process 2 is chemical change. No, both processes represent physical change. Correct. So which one is correct? That is 2 and 4. Right. So correct answer is option A. Got it? Coming to the next question. When 4 different substances W, X, Y and Z are placed in a beaker, they get arranged in a way shown in the figure. Identify substances W, X, Y and Z. So for W, X, Y, Z, options are A, stone, mustard oil, mercury, ice cube. B, ice cube, mercury, mustard oil, paper. C, iron bar, honey, mustard oil, wooden block. D, mercury, iron bar, honey and wooden block. Okay. So we have to find out the substances. So W, you are seeing what is W here. So it is something that is sink to the bottom. Okay, that means it is a very heavy substance, right? So W, it will be heavy. In fact, we can say heaviest substance among these. Right? Coming to X. X is forming the lower layer. Okay, X is forming the lower layer. So then the next it is water. Y is forming the upper layer. That means X, that is the liquid type substance which is comparatively heavier, and Y is the liquid type substance which is comparatively lighter. Okay, that's why they are forming the layers. Then Z, that is floating in water. So that means it is, we can say, the lightest substance. Okay, so what could be the option? So W, that is heavy, it could be the iron bar. Yes. Then honey, it could be the X, which is heavier. Mustard oil, it could be the Y, which is lighter. That's why forming the upper layer. Say wooden block, which is lightest. That's why it is floating on the top. Right? Yes. So which one is the correct option? That is option C. Coming to the next question, the given table shows some properties of three substances P, Q and R. Substances P, Q, R, soluble in water, attracted by magnet, these are given. The following steps were carried out to obtain P from a mixture of P, Q and R. Which one? Filtration, 2 evaporation, 3 magnetic separation, 4 addition of water. The sequence in which these steps should be carried out is, options are A 4123, B 3421, C 3412, D 4321. So we have the mixture of P, Q and R. Okay. So if P, Q and R are mixed, if we have any mixture of any substances, first what we need to do? First we need to find out if there is presence of any magnetic substance or not. Okay. So here, yes, there is a substance Q which is attracted by magnet. So first thing that we should follow, that is the magnetic separation. Okay. Then now we are left with P and R. So Q is separated now and we are left with P and R. So P is soluble in water, R is not soluble in water. So what we can do? We have to do the solubility check. And how can we do that? Just add some amount of water. So the next thing what we will do, that will be the addition of water. Okay. After addition of water, one will be soluble, that is P will be soluble in water, and R, it won't be soluble. So if something is not soluble in a solution, how to separate it? We have to filtrate it. Okay, we have to filter it. So the next process that we should follow, that is filtration. After filtration, what will happen? After filtration, R, which is not soluble in water, it will be separated and we will left with the solution, that is water and P. Now, how to separate P from water? For that, we need to follow evaporation. If we will evaporate, then water will be evaporated and we will be left with P. So the last one, that is the evaporation. So what is the correct sequence? First one, magnetic separation, then addition of water, filtration and evaporation. Okay. So here that is the 3, 4, 1, 2 which is present in option C. Got it everyone? Coming to the next question, a solid substance X sublimes at 95 degrees Celsius. Which of the following figure represents the arrangement of particles of X at 100 degrees Celsius? 4 options are there, 3 figures are there, and D is the none of these. So, if a solid substance X sublimes at 95 degrees Celsius, do you know what is sublimation? Sublimation is a process in which solid is directly converted to the gaseous state on application of heat without passing through the liquid state. Okay, so that means at 95 degrees Celsius, X, it will X, it is already in gaseous state. So what will happen at 100 degrees Celsius? In 100 degrees Celsius also it will remain in gaseous state only. Okay. So you know, in the gaseous state the particles are present far apart from each other, right? So we have to find out the more spacious one, and where it is. Yes, if you know the answer, you can write in the comment section. So it is the option A. As you can see, the particles are far apart from each other, right? And here it is tightly packed, so it could be solid. Here little difference is there, so it could be liquid, right? Yes. So correct answer is option A. Coming to the next question, read the given paragraph. P is a bird that migrates from Arctic to Antarctica to escape cold weather condition. Q is a fish which migrates from freshwater to sea to breed, whereas R is also fish which migrates from sea to freshwater to breed. And S is an insect which migrates from Canada to Mexico to escape winter. So identify organisms P, Q, R and S and select the correct option regarding them. Options are A. P almost covers a distance of 71,000 km on average during its migration cycle. B. Q completes its migration in single generation whereas R completes its migration in 5 generations. C. S forms swarms which destroy and eat away crop fields that come in their way. D. P is Siberian crane, Q is eel, R is salmon and X is monarch butterfly. Okay. So we have to find out the correct option. So here the correct answer is option A, that is P, which is the bird that migrates from Arctic to Antarctica to escape cold weather condition. It covers a distance of 71,000 km on an average during its migration cycle. Okay. So this much for today's session. Let's meet you in the next session. Till then, read mindfully, practice all the questions properly. Okay. So meet you soon. Bye bye everyone.